So I was contemplating about making a video about this guy. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do a video, right? Mr. Moonshine, you know, guy has a great channel, you know. I give him that, you know, but, you know, he has a couple of interviews on there, you know, people on there. So I know we had Amanda Serrano on there, a couple other people on there. I think he had Teofimo Lopez on there, a couple other people on there, right? You know, he does his thing, you know, hustles on social media, always posting and stuff like that, you know. But the dude just don't know how to let shit go, man. You know, I think that, you know, if he would have just left, you know, the George Floyd comments alone, you know, talk about all this, which I think is not true. Puerto Rican fighters not getting their just dues. I mean, we could go down the list that keep getting fights after L's, after receiving hot L's. You know, breaking his motherfucking hand and shit. Quit. Like some people said. He's still getting fights. You know, I don't know what fighters that he's referring to and stuff like that, but there's a lot of black fighters that can't get this, a lot of white fighters that can't get fights either. And they're from America. You know, look at Caleb Plant over there. Even though I'm pretty sure he'd get the Canelo fight before anybody else. But if that wasn't the case, who else would be fighting then? Look what happened to Charlo. Look what happened to Devin Haney. So, you know, look at Deontay Wilder, never caught a break. Well, so, and the list goes on and on. I mean, but it just kind of seems that the brother decided to go the other route and do what a lot of these other channels do. End up infiltrating the LDBC, begging for subs, get their 1,000 subs and bail. Or like some of these other guys see that they're not getting the traction that they deserve or think they deserve and start talking about the LDBC and what we got to say when nobody was talking about you. And I confronted them, and I talked to him about it on Twitter. He didn't respond to anything as far as when I told him, it's like, hey man, you can't throw rocks and hide your hand. You started this. He didn't say that he did or he didn't, because he know the deal is he started it, and he started this months ago. So I know there's channels out there saying that you're not a hardcore boxing fan, you're not a real boxing fan, you're a fanboy if you use race to entice your fans, or you use race to keep your fans captivated, or you use race for subs and stuff like that. Well, at the end of the day, you using the acknowledge that you're a real boxing channel, you're a hardcore boxing channel, and everybody else ain't that does this. So you kind of do it too. You know, you kind of created your own definition on what a real boxing fan is, or a real hardcore boxing fan is, or what a fanboy is, so you can put yourself above everybody else or certain channels. So, you know, I think that what people need to do is, including myself, is really fucking mind their own business. You know, I think that's what a lot of us should do. If we ain't got nothing good to say about another channel, I think we should start minding our own business and leave people alone. And if you got to say something to somebody or correct somebody, not correct nobody, because everybody fuck up, including myself, with stuff. So, but you know, there's trying to categorize other channels, devalue other channels, you know, slander, you know, kick other channels down while they're already down, talk about people in a way that you wouldn't do to their face. I think a lot of people need to cut the shit out on YouTube. Because the bigger picture is all this fanboy talk, all this, you're not a real boxing channel, you're not a real boxing head, you're not a hardcore boxing this and then a third. This fighter's ducking this fighter. This boxing channel sucks. Talking about motherfuckers on Front Street on videos like that ain't gonna do a damn thing. I think what we need to do is get together. If we can't get together for one thing, to let these motherfuckers know that there's too many belts in boxing, there's too many bum of the month fights, we're not getting what we paying for, too many pay-per-views, too many fighters trying to fight and to be pay-per-view stars, too many fights to be had and no fights happening. Whatever the criteria that we can all come together up with. Right? That's what we need to do. We need to stop being bitches and stop letting these people treat us like we're assets and shit like that, and man the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And it starts with me and everybody else out here that's sitting up over here trying to fucking tell somebody what kind of channel they is. Getting mad at groups, getting mad at the LDBC because we call it as if we see it from our perspective, not from yours, not from your perspective, from our perspective. Whether or not we agree with 78, whether or not we agree with Fanon, whether or not we agree with Black Fight Fan TV and CC or whatever, whether or not who the fuck we agree with. That don't mean that you gotta come out here and say that you fanboys because you believe what 78 gotta say. It's fucking ridiculous. Downright fucking ridiculous. You mad. You mad at the same time, but Bob Arum's fucking you. You mad at the same time, but Erlen Crawford's fucking you. You mad at the same time, but Canelo's fucking you. You mad at the same time, but Edward Hearn is dicking you around with a fight that probably won't happen because mediation. Literally got a fighter out here talking about, I'm willing to drop some belts to fight Tyson Fury, but fail to say that Tyson Fury is going through mediation, that the fight might not even fucking happen. Because if he tried to fucking fight me, he's going to get fucking sued. Won't even say that. Won't even say that. But all you motherfuckers out here is greasing that nigga dick up. All you motherfuckers out here, y'all niggas just don't know which way is up. Straight up. Don't know which way is up. Don't know. Look at the fights that happened this weekend, which I don't blame the fights that happened this weekend. I really don't. It's Christmas, motherfucker. Shit, I'd rather be in the gym with my family and with my family. You know what I'm saying? Celebrating a day with them instead of fucking fighting for fucking crumbs. Motherfuckers talking about this weekend of boxing, right? Oh, the PBC, this and the third. These fighters ain't even getting paid, nigga. Ain't even getting paid that much. But they out here fighting because they trying to make a fucking living. You gotta fight X amount of times a year. You gotta fight to bring food on the table. You gotta fight to get somewhere. Sean Porter talking about something, don't give me a meal. She's talking about Crawford, don't give me a meal. Right? Don't lowball me. Right? Who the fuck is you else you gonna fight? Fuck is you else you gonna, who you gonna fight? Just go on over there and fight the dude. Motherfuckers will allow Sean Porter to slide, but he won't let Gary Russell. And it's vice versa for the scenarios. He don't want to take whatever. So look at him. I don't understand it. Motherfuckers just greedy. Y'all ain't getting these motherfucking fights. Look what's going on. Y'all seriously think that these motherfuckers during COVID, no fans and all this shit, you really think these motherfuckers is gonna have these fights? Well, the only fight that matters is Crawford and Spence. Yeah, we know that. Captain motherfucking Obvious. We know that. We know it's COVID. So don't you know that there's a good fucking possibility that it's not going to happen because of money? Yeah, you do. Getting kind of parched. Hold up. Getting kind of parched. No, these fights ain't about to fucking happen. Why Canelo ain't gonna fight these guys right now? And when he could fight them, later. Why? Why Spence and Crawford don't want to make the fight when they can fight each other later? When one of them can get the Pacquiao fight, make the fight bigger. When one of them can get a bigger fight and make the fight later. If you put your fucking self in Earl's shoes, Crawford's shoes, Canelo's shoes, whoever's shoes, that's a boxer right now and that's worth a damn, right? You can't sit up over here and fucking tell me this is what I would do. Nigga, you're not in their shoes. I don't care if you're a past fighter and you never got over $10, $20 million for a fight, you can't say nothing. You're not in their shoes either. That's what we talking about. We're talking about these promoters not letting fights happen, and these fighters that have the ability to pick their fights don't want to let the fights happen because of money, leaving money because they don't want to leave money on the table. Straight up. Straight up. Usyk said that Usyk called out Deontay. No, he didn't call out Deontay Wilder. He made a list of fighters that he would be interested in fighting. That's what he did. He didn't call out fucking Deontay Wilder. Even if he did, so fucking what? Fight AJ, nigga. Fight AJ. He got 3 belts. Tell him. You was not about to tell him, hey man, just in case Fury loses that mediation, I'm right here, big dog. Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. But everybody can't see through this shit. That's why I said, all you so-called fucking YouTube social media personalities, social media propagandists, whatever the case may be, that say y'all hardcore boxing fans or not a fanboy or whatever you want to call yourself, a fanboy, a dick rider, whatever you want to call yourself. Why are you not out here advocating on a constant basis? Like when you talk about Fanon, the LDBC, or the way you talk about punch drunk boxing all the time, or whatever the case may be. Why are you not talking about this like I always talk about? The promoters, sanctioning bodies, and networks taking boxing fans fucking serious. Dead ass serious. Listening to us. Giving us a say on what goes on. Because we ain't doing what needs to be done. Shutting off the TV. Bombarding them with hashtags. Bombarding them with a list of demands. Doing an interview with a fighter or somebody in boxing that's worth a damn, and coming up with multiple people with lists of things that should happen in boxing. From pension plans to less belts, no more franchise, a better and more, I wouldn't say comprehensive, but something that's more, readable. Something that's not too complicated when it comes to what you can and cannot motherfucking take. What's on the bad substance list? Taking the threshold for glutathione and meldonium off of the fucking list. Getting rid of the annex or the amendments with thresholds for glutathione and meldonium. Making it known having a better understanding on what a professional boxing glove is supposed to consist of. Because if you read everywhere around, there ain't none. There ain't no clear definition on what a boxing glove is supposed to consist of. And the list goes, no covering of cameras in locker rooms, while gloves and tape are being administered for review. Better review of fights. Grading refs after fights. Evaluating them. You know what I'm saying? Better, how would you say? Tournaments. Can't just hang around in here and the top 15 of a sanctioned body dicking around, holding the line up. There's other stuff that should be talked about, and then that should be pushed. Because you're not going to get the best fighting the best like we supposed to. You're not going to get another fucking Don King era like you black motherfuckers always talk about. You can sit up over here and say, well, the UFC is doing this, and look at boxing. Look at their numbers, and look at their pay-per-view numbers, and look at this, look at that. You can't compare boxing to UFC, first of all. Can't. That's why I say, like, a lot of these channels, when it comes to boxing, need to just start listening to certain things and talking about certain things. I can literally say up here that, I could give any channel that I don't like some props. And I can talk about the things that I know that I don't like that they do. Right? But at the end at the end of the day, right, that's not going to do anything. We need to talk about getting together, and making our voices be heard. That's what we need to do. Making our voices be heard. Because we ain't doing that, man. All you doing is just making money off of the pain and struggle, off of the pain, off of the backs of your subscribers. That's all you're doing. Making money off them. Acting like turning boxing into love and hip hop. Literally. Because you see the weakness in people. You see they'd rather hear about who ducking who and what somebody else got to say about their channel. So, let me recap this so y'all can get this. I think we all need to do a better job of minding our own fucking business and not talking about one another unless we got something good to say. I think that boxing channels, whether or not you like them or not, I think we all need to have a common goal, and that's letting these sanctioned bodies know that treating us as these sanctioned bodies, networks, promoters, and fighters know that, hey man, you guys ain't gonna be treating us like assets around here. Cutting the TV off, making a list of things that should or should not happen in the sport of boxing, or needs to happen in the sport of boxing. Needs and wants and shoulds, they're all the same. So you can miss me with that let the government in the sport of boxing shit, because that always never ends well. But that's all I gotta say, man. And on that note, shout outs to the LDBC, and everybody stay sucker free.